Now,
definitely.
let's see. Ook has actually won a silver bracket. Dawn, his high was that he finished. He got to the semifinals versus Frank in May, and as you all know, Frank is just a steamroller. So even trying to hold your own against Frank is an accomplishment in and of itself.
Definitely. So now we're gonna be jumping into the match as both of our players are already off into level number 6. Yes, don't worry about Ook. He said that there could be a chance that the computer could potato, so we have taken measures about it.
Yes, we usually have measures for that in place pretty much already. But thank you, Ook, for letting us know so that we can keep an eye out and make sure that everything's timed fairly.
Indeed. As we now see both of our players getting into the tense viruses, Dom basically just getting really nice RNG, just opening up all of his board at this point. There's really nothing that he cannot reach at this point.
Mm-hmm. But it's really a tale of two separate boards where Dawn had basically no reds. He had one until just a second ago, and Ook has a vast majority of reds.
And of course,
The doctor is not liking it right now.
Yeah, just no reds inside for Ook, and we know that that can really make or break a game. As Dawn is already into level 7 before the 120 mark, so a great time once again from one of our players.
Yes, and I really like Dawn's board. There's a ton of double opportunities everywhere. So I really think he's going to fly through this level.
Yeah, definitely. And he's taking each and every one of them, just making sure to pair up all of his viruses, and that's been working tremendously for him.
Mm-hmm. And he's setting up a Frank. Oh no, he overshot on the Frank play. He's gonna have to clear that up. I don't know how he's gonna do it, but this does give Ook an opportunity to try to catch up as much as he can.
Yeah, it's a bit of the risk that one runs when trying to go for those plays where everything is set up on top of other viruses that have to be cleared. And yeah, if something fails, then all of that stuff on top becomes kind of garbage. So yeah, that's an issue. But Don manages to open up back. His board is out at 25 still.
Yes, while Ook is still on 7, he's still got 22 viruses. There is a little bit of a time discrepancy, but Ook's really got to try to boogie to get this to get back in with just the speed that Dawn is playing.
Yeah, at this point, just Dawn is just rushing through these levels. It even would look like he's trying to just catch up Ook and try and lap him, but of course, Ook is not gonna let that happen.
Hopefully not. That was my wish yesterday, was just not to get lapped. I didn't care about winning. I just didn't want to get lapped. So I can understand the fervent desire to at least partially catch up.
Definitely. Ook is just a couple of red viruses away from finishing level 7. Meanwhile, Don is on level 8, but the doctor is not giving him the yellows that he needs. So this is the extra time that Ook needed.
Exactly. Dawn is hamstrung by a complete lack of yellow pills and a board full of yellow on his top line.
And really, there's nothing that you can do other than just to wait for them. Any kind of interesting play that he could come up with, there's really no place for it at this point. But finally getting some yellows and opening up more colors.
Yes, now he does have access to a vast majority of his viruses. I think he's signaling that he wants to take that blue in column 4 horizontally so he can drop those reds down and get a double clear on that. So we'll see if the doctor provides for that as well.
Yeah, in the meantime, Ook got very inspired with his board. This is not what you want to see, but he's figuring ways of getting combos here and there, so at least that's working for him. But now he needs the blue, and that's being restricted by the doctor as Dawn finishes level 8.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous about that column 6. Okay, decides to wait on the double blue, takes it with the blue yellow so he can drop that down, and now he's only down to 2 viruses now. And he'll be out right at about 5 minutes 5:01.
Yeah, he's basically caught up. There was a big discrepancy in viruses at one point, but now Ook is basically just 6 viruses behind Dawn, so this is still anybody's game.
Exactly. We have seen bigger comebacks. John and I specifically have seen bigger comebacks.
Exactly.
So Ook is not out of it by any means at this point.
Oh, not at all, but this very yellow board is not indicating that Mario wants really Farouk to take the game number 1, as on the other hand, Dawn doesn't have a lot of blue on his board.
He doesn't, but he does seem to be working on exposing the blue that is there, which he just did, and now he's down to 1 yellow and the rest, oops, all reds.
And Dawn goes for that horizontal pairing of those 2 viruses, being as efficient as you can be with this. I think he wanted to go for the tuck, but it didn't just go in. But fortunately, gets yet another red, and he just have to wait for that last yellow. He's out at 6:24.
It's a great time for Dawn, just flying through those levels.
Definitely,
And
that's
Ook is only down to his last 5 viruses. He just got hamstrung on a little bit of that, and again was just up against fire. So again, there's little that you can do when you're just up with somebody who's just gonna fly through everything.
Definitely, but I will say that after the earlier levels, I would say that Ook could just turn it on in 8 and 9 and really make a good comeback there.
Yes, I agree. That was a very, very good comeback. Only about 25 seconds off, when sometimes those deficits can be in the minutes.
Yeah, as in both of our players just gonna jump into the next game, so we have the countdown 3, 2, 1, and peels. Here we go.
Okay. Well, Dawn does not have a lot of red on his top line at all. It takes quite a while to get to any. Whereas Ook is a little bit more balanced. Still got a lot of blues on the top line. And I just don't like blue viruses. They're never kind to me.
Yeah, I think there's too little blue really in most of levels, so makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Now Ook has cleared out all of columns 1 and 2, so that's very nice. If he has any garbage that he needs to drop, he can place that there with no real effect on anything else that's happening on his board. Wow, that tuck was very fast.
Yeah, I know that if there's one thing that Ook has been working on, is just doing those fast talks, and boy is one of the players that can really make them happen.
Exactly, and he's gonna try to get these yellows horizontally, drop down, and now he's just down to 1 blue, and Dawn is down to 3 viruses. This is very close.
Yeah, Ook gets it not too late. It's 1:23. He's not happy about it, but he's 7 seconds ahead from Dawn.
Exactly. And it looks again like he's having a little bit of trouble with some color diversity, but he looks to be opening up as much as he can. Very good combo right there. And Dawn just has a lack of red. on his top line, couple lines in.
It's a lack of red coupled with a lot of yellow on the top line, which he had just to wait because nothing else to do in those situations, really.
Exactly when the doctor says, "Oh, I'm going to give you all yellows," and then you're going to have 0 yellows to work with. There's not really anything that you can do. Just try to be as creative as possible, and sometimes even that doesn't help.
Yeah, sometimes just creativity runs out as well, but regardless, he's doing really well, keeping it very tight at this point, both of them tied up.
Mm-hmm. And Dawn only has that one blue left in row 1. So, and he's going to get rid of it there, but he's only down to 3. Ook is down to 5 viruses.
And trying to figure out this puzzle because this really looks complex, but I'm sure he already has a solution for it.
Yes, I am almost entirely sure that Ook is going to do a horizontal drop. Okay. And then he got a yellow to get him out of that.
Yeah,
Still within just a couple of viruses, so this is really anybody's match.
Oh, definitely. But Dawn just took there a whole bunch of yellows in one fell swoop, so yeah, it's working for him to go for those horizontals. But now it's still very yellow on the top line, amazingly.
Yeah, very, very yellow, not a lot of red access. I think the doctor is just saying that he wants Dawn to play with oops as many yellows as possible right now.
Definitely. As Ook, on the other hand, has a red and yellow board all the way. And he's getting a lot of blue, which of course he doesn't need at this point, but
He's gonna
he's
get a fat log on those blues.
Definitely, that's exactly what happened there. He's getting creative.
Yes, and he knows that he doesn't necessarily need blues. So sometimes he's using that as trash. But also clearing when he can. But he does have 3 or 4 columns in the middle of his board that are completely devoid of viruses. So he can use that for trash. We do tend to like that a little bit better if it's in one of the edge columns, column 1 or column 8. And Dawn is out and on level 9. Ook still got 8 viruses to go.
Yeah, Oak's been going for those fast ducks, and unfortunately, a couple of them haven't been working out. So, yeah, that's the risk that one runs when trying to go for those strats. But it's not too bad at this point. Just needing a few yellows in order to be out.
He's going to combo. He was trying to combo everything all at the same time. But now he's out at about 528. And then we're on to level 9 for both of our players.
Yes, and what I can see is that Dawn has both edges very one color. On the right side, it's a lot of yellow. On the left side, it's a lot of blue, and that restricts your options.
It does. One of our tenants in the Book of Leviticus, as I mentioned yesterday, is trying to use all halves of the pill at as much as you can, and when you're restricted by different sides of the board, it's really, really hard to do that, and really, really hard to be as efficient as you can be with the game.
And you can see it here as Dawn has to take some drop time because there's really no other thing to do. But unless you want to wait a long time at some point, but no, he decides to just clear everything. He's gonna be out at 6:36.
And Luke's still going, still has a lot of red and yellow on that top line, not a lot of access to blues. And I know earlier the doctor just really wanted to give him blues.
At least that kind of means that there is some blue coming in big quantities, but it's not here just yet. And yeah, Ook is just gonna have to um, try and finish this as he's already popped up the GGs for Dawn,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm sure he's just gonna finish this to put a record of how this game went well. But yeah, it's going to be Dawn then going forward and facing David Smith Seth on round 2.
Gonna be great. That's great sportsmanship from Ook. As he gets that L clear, he's got his last virus. He's out at a 738. But it's always nice to see really good sportsmanship, and I think our community is actually really good at that. We're all very supportive of each other, no matter what. Ook always does a GGs for whoever he's facing. It's always great to see. But yeah, Dawn gets to move on to round 2, face Dave Smith, and that'll be up later today in round 2.